Well, hello everybody. How are you doing on this amazing Wednesday? I want to welcome you to Get to Know Bob, where we have this amazing platform where we feature some awesome Black business owners, musicians, artists. We've had people who own automotive industry, right? We've had people who are in HVAC. Those are our people who have those technical skills. We need more representation in our bakers, just everybody who's making it happen, right? Through our community. This is their platform for you to get to know them a little bit about who they are, most importantly, why they do what they do. That's where we differentiate ourselves. Always say that there is abundance, right? You're not going to connect with everybody. Hell, most people may not even vibe with me. But what I will say is that we still have amazing people doing amazing things. And so you need to support them. I'm here to make sure that you have the visibility of what they're doing. So I'm creating that awareness and encouraging that support so that they can be supported for the products and services that they provide to our communities. I am your host, Sonia Weaver, and thank you for chilling with me on this Wednesday. I don't know about you, my Wednesday has been crazy. I look down and realize, oh, I better get ready for this show. I have been doing things since this morning, have not eaten, have not taken a break or anything. It has been a crazy Wednesday. And I think last Wednesday was crazy for me too. So pray. I'm asking y'all to pray that next week I will have a calm hump day Wednesday because I need one. I'm telling you, I need one desperately. But I'm excited for this conversation. Nonetheless, I cannot wait. If you have not seen social media and know who I'm about to be talking to, those of you who have seen it know why I'm excited, right? And those of you who haven't, or maybe don't know the guest on tonight, you are going to find out why because I'm hoping we get through everything because we'll start talking about like we normally do. This is my sister friend, Kimberly, again, who is going to be on tonight. So get excited for the conversation. So let me get right on into it. I had an amazing time this weekend supporting Bob. So the one who I'm going to feature this evening that I got an opportunity to feature is Detroit Book City. And they were at Party with the T, located in Wayne, Michigan. So, let me show you a little video clip about how that event went. Now, if you miss coming out, that was on you. Okay. What I love about the event is I got to meet the fabulous owner of that establishment located in Wayne, Michigan. It is not only where you can get products as far as what she offers in the boutique side, but there is a beautiful space that you also can rent. So if you have a private event and you're looking to have some space in the Wayne, Michigan area, then why don't you remember Party with a T because she would love to host your event. Now, I'm a supporter of Detroit Book City because I believe in literacy. So make sure you're on the lookout for the upcoming conversation that we're going to be having with Janice. I cannot wait to have a conversation with her so you can know all of the amazing things that are coming for the rest of 2023. Now, while I'm here, I want to make sure you have taken the pledge to support 7 Bobs, right? A week. Yes, support 7 Black-owned business a week by either your time, sharing if you're on social media, sharing with a text message if you know someone who needs the products or services, physically coming out. We're talking about our nonprofits coming up. They would love for you to volunteer. That's the way to support, or just buy that old-fashioned financial support. if you have gifts and birthday gifts or Christmas gifts, other gifts that you're giving, just because gifts, we have candle makers, we have jewelry makers, we have even something coming on about the nonprofit coming up where you can purchase a gift for a good cause. So there's financial support and there's your time support. That's all it takes. Be intentional. Support 7 Black-owned businesses a week. Okay, what's our deal of the day? You want to know? I know you're anxious. You're excited to know we're giving away a free gift. What will that be? Tickets! Yes! We're giving away tickets to the upcoming Sada Baby fundraiser for All for One and One for All. So, yes, how do you get your tickets? Well, you just follow the 3 easy steps. 1, subscribe to our YouTube channel and send us a pic to confirm. Like and follow us on social media on Facebook and or Instagram and send a pic to confirm. Share and tag. You're going to share 5 of our Get to Know Bob episodes on your social media and tag us. Tag 5 friends also. Complete those 3 steps. Send the information to info@dealswithbob.com. The first person to complete the 3 steps will receive the free gift. And let us know that you've completed the steps by commenting on tonight's show. Remember, you only have 7 days because when we get to the next show, that deal expires. Now, our featured nonprofit for tonight, can you get excited? It is Good Measure. Good Measure nonprofit. Their mission is committed to helping and facilitate change in our schools and our community by providing essential needs to low-income youth and their families, as well as provide financial resources and educational guidance to ensure they are aware of the best career choices that are available to them. They offer educational attainment, financial stability, life skills training, and healthy living. Let them connect your children by using the current technology that's at our disposal. Equitable tech can potentially improve learning opportunities for children throughout the county that were previously underserved. Good Measure is giving them a voice. And one thing we want to mention about Good Measure is that they were a featured nonprofit in the Romulus area. They want their children in that community to know that they have a good future, says the founder, Kimberly Glenn, who is the director of Good Measure, Inc. They want them to keep dreaming and be encouraged to believe that success is achievable. To find out how you can help, please contact them at 734-383-2220. So Good Measure is our March. Can you believe it? It is March 1st, our March nonprofit of the month. So you will hear more about them at the weeks to come. Make sure you support them by your time. I'm sure they would love for you to volunteer. Okay, so our featured business for tonight is Tranquility Christian Counseling. Let's take a moment to see what they do. Tranquility Christian Counseling will help empower people to believe in themselves with clarity, unity, and growth. If the struggles of everyday life are weighing you down and you have lost focus on your purpose in life, they will provide many tools to assist you in overcoming some of the fears you might have in moving forward and developing positive improvements. The therapists that specialize in treatment for depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, grief, and loss, and a variety of inner conflicts that diminish the joy of living. They have a holistic approach to counseling, evaluating the whole person from both their inner and outer characteristics. They believe in both clinical and spiritual dynamics of therapy go hand in hand. They will provide effective therapy to each client according to your uniqueness and needs. They will seek to provide service with clinical professional competence through a spirit of acceptance, empathy, compassion, and respect for those of whom they have the privilege of servicing. They focus on establishing goals for your personal needs, healthy coping skills, develop positive growth, utilizing and building trust in a non-judgmental atmosphere. It is helpful for the clients to do work in and out of sessions. On occasion, you will get homework assignments to assist with the therapeutic process. It may incorporate some journaling for personal evaluation, but they seek to meet the needs and provide affordable services. Consumer members will receive an additional 10% off events. Now, I've been talking about how our world is hurting. And of course, we are struggling with a lot of mental issues across the US. So make sure that if you need to talk to a therapist to get those things out, go right ahead. I do highly recommend our featured business on this episode, Tranquility Christian Counseling, and they definitely can make an impact and difference in your life and your future. Now we're going into our deals for our consumer members, kicking it off with MCS Financial Services offering 15% off their services to consumer members. It is tax season. You may want to keep a little bit of that money in your pocket and get that additional 15% off. The Amazing Woman Network is offering 20% off AWM merchandise and financial services. Affordable Veterinary Clinic is offering free well exams for new clients with the purchase of vaccines. Divine Diva Designs is offering 15% off. And True to You Candles is offering a free gift. Now, my shirt is a Divine Diva Designs original, so, I always support them, and you should too for any of your printing needs, unless it's money. Of course, they don't print that. And of course, I know I love my True to You candles. And for all of those other businesses out there, if you want to offer deals, discount giveaways, and rewards to our consumer members, please visit www.dealswithbob.com and join today. Now, to become a consumer member, what do you need to do? Simply go to www.dealswithbob.com, click on consumer sign up, and join that annual membership for $25. If you are a business owner, of course, we want you to join by using our annual packages that will have your consumer membership included. Now it's time for our Stay Connected. Can you get excited? We have some amazing things as always going in and on and around our community. And I got a little surprise for you as well coming up in this segment. Kicking it off, I want to remind you, if you haven't already done so, go watch the previous episode with the conversation we had last week with Camilla Franklin. It was an amazing conversation, and I actually learned some new things myself. So I admonish you to go over and check it out. Want to support Bob? Volunteers are needed for Genesis Pregnancy Resource Center. Make sure you reach out to them today at apv@genesisprc.org. The 6th annual Havana Nights, the SJP Awards, happening on March 4th from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Amazing Women Speak podcast, March 5th at 7 p.m. This week's topic, my seat at the table. Your Money, Your Future, being presented by Good Measure Incorporated, March 11th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Make sure you save the date. Chopping It Up with the Brothers, Conversation Towards Healing, hosted by Keith Bennett, Darwin Griffin, and Pastor Mac A. Hall, March 11th from 12 noon to 3 p.m. The Pre-Patty Day Pop-Up Shop, happening Saturday, March 11th from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. For more information, contact Lisa at 313-772-3768. Linked is celebrating Women's History Month, celebrating women who tell our stories. Two options to attend: Saturday, March 11th or Sunday, March 12th. Merchants Are Us and Divalicious Enterprise present Business Shower 2023, Saturday, March 18th from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. Mona Lisa's Lyrics presents Detroit's own Say the Baby, a fundraiser for All for One and One for All, Saturday, March 25th from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. And now we're bringing on a special guest who's going to share a little bit more information of what she will be doing at this event. Hello, Rachel. Welcome.
Hi, Sonia. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm excellent. I love your podcast. It's so informative and entertaining.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Those are kind words. Keep me going. Keep me
Oh,
going.
yes, of course. Everybody
Now,
knows
I'm giving you the opportunity to share a little bit about who you are, what you do, and why you do what you do. And most importantly, how are you connected to this upcoming event?
Well, my name is Rachel Mason, and I will be our artist vendor at the All for One, One for All fundraiser coming up March 25th at Legacy Hall. I was born a creative. God gave me that talent. I only drew and created art in my younger years. I would try to be an intellectual. I graduated from law school and I decided I wanted to go back to being a creative because being creative fulfills me. It makes me happy. God said, work with your hands. And I am most happy when I'm working with my hands. So I will be a featured artist at this upcoming event. I will have some paintings on display. I'm going to try to bring the smaller paintings, like this one, for instance. I don't think you can see it that well. I do landscape. That was a landscape painting. I do abstract art. I don't think you can see it that good.
We can see it.
Okay. Come to Legacy Hall March 25th, and you'll see a lot of different variations on art. I do abstract, I do fluid art, I do landscape, I do classic art, and I also do commission pieces where someone could tell me what they want. Um, they could tell me their colors if it's abstract, and I could get that to you as well. I do have a website. My website is www.ascending-higher.com. That's ascending-higher.com. I also have an email address. It's rachel@ascending-higher.com. And if you go to my blog site, you can see some of the pieces that I already have. I'm not bringing all of my art to the show, but I will have some good pieces on display, and hopefully I'll have a square by that time. But you can always cash at me, and we could use Zelle to do the transaction. But I'm here for the fundraiser, so.
Awesome. Now, so she's here for the fundraiser, guys, but here's what I'm going to tell you to do.
Okay.
I'm sure she has a price range that can fit all budgets.
Yes.
So make sure you come prepared. I know sometimes we go to the vending events. We don't necessarily know who gonna be there, what we may want. And that's why we having these pop-in segments so that you can come prepared to purchase, prepared to purchase. And then you can have them either for yourself or for gifts for other people. But let us support Rachel and her amazing business, being a creative. That's not always an easy thing to do. So we want to encourage her by showing our support. Is there anything else you want to share before you pop out, Rachel?
Just come see us at Legacy Hall March 25th. I'll be down there with my husband and a few pieces. I'll have a book on display so you can order the larger pieces as well. And we can set up a free delivery for everybody on me.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Rachel. I look forward to seeing you on the 25th. I hope you guys out there too will come and support this amazing fundraiser and Rachel. Have a
Mm,
great day, and I'll be
I
in touch with you
appreciate you.
soon.
Thanks.
Bye.
Have a good night. Bye
You
bye.
too. Bye bye. As we keep on going right along, we're going to then go into Lab Foundation is presenting More Than Eyes Can See. Come see Crystal P like you've never seen her before. This is on March 25th. Doors open at 6 p.m. The show starts at 7 p.m. That Girl, Motor City Community Fundraiser, connecting the community to our youth on March the 27th at Little Caesars Arena from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Then later that night, That Girl is presenting the fourth annual Being That Girl Awards. And of course, I'm excited as I am one of the awardees among these amazing women that you can see featured. OMG. Make sure you come out. Mark your calendars, March 27th at Little Caesar Arena at 6 p.m. So you might as well just go ahead and make it a day, support our youth by day and these women by night. And let us support you and your event by adding it to our Stay Connected segment. Visit www.dealswithbob.com and contact us today. So it is that time of the show. Yes! Can you get excited? We are about to have tonight's guest on. Woo, 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 woo. Can you get excited? Here we are with the phenomenal Kimberly Glenn. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am so good. I had to get my pick me up, get ready for the show. But
I'm
I
so
am so
excited.
excited. Yes, because I think it's been a little over a year since you've been here last time, and so much has happened in that
So
time.
much. So
So
much.
I'm just so excited again just to get caught up so people can know what you're doing. But before we go that, I do have some activity moving in the chat. So let me just acknowledge the people who are part of it. Hello, Tim. Welcome. He said Bob, and much respect to Kimberly Glenn. We have
Thank you.
Oh, and much respect to Rachel. Oh, I just missed that. Yes, Rachel was awesome. Mona saying, yes, thank you all. Thank you for all your support. Uh, oh, she said Rachel's artwork is hanging on her wall. Awesome. Awesome. And then Tim just said, let's go, Kim. Much respect to Good Measure Incorporated.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for being a part
Yes.
of the conversation. So, for those who don't know, I'm going to pass the baton to you, Kim, so that you can do your self introduction. Of course, you're going to tell them who you are, a little bit about you, fun facts that they may not know, and then why do you do what you do?
Well, as you said, my name is Kim Glenn. I am the director and founder of Good Measure Inc., a nonprofit that was founded in 2018 pre COVID. Um, it is a nonprofit that is designed to help facilitate change in our communities, in our schools, by helping youth while they are in school age youth, so they can be from kindergarten to college. But low income or low to moderate income individuals, just trying to help them with whatever needs that they may have to get them through school, whether it be clothes, school supplies, financial resources, educational resources, tutoring, if they need help getting their community service credit hours, just whatever it is that we can help them with to help them to be successful and to prepare them for the next step of life.
Awesome. Now, for those who may not know, what made you even decide to do a nonprofit?
Well, what made me decide to do the nonprofit is I was a subsecretary for the Romulus School District for some years. Before that, I was just active in school, just regular active parent. My kids graduated from Romulus, but I was always that parent that was at everything, every parent teachers conference. I mean, everything. And just, hearing teachers talk. And then when I started to work at the schools, and just I worked from elementary to the high school. And just some of the things that I encountered with the kids, and some of the things that I saw, the disparities between our brown kids and the white kids, and just some of the things that our children have to deal with, the different traumas that they have to deal with, that a lot of other races, they really can't relate to it because they don't deal with those types of traumas. We have kids that go to bed hungry. Not saying that other races don't, but I'm talking about in my community. And so you deal with a lot of things like, going to bed hungry, getting up hungry. You're in middle school, but you have 4 or 5 other siblings underneath you that you are the babysitter. But you're only in middle school yourself.
Right.
And, you're doing laundry, you're doing all this stuff while mom is either working 3 or 4 jobs or 2 or 3 jobs, trying to take care of the single home, or she's out doing whatever she's doing. And you've had, you just have all of these things that these kids deal with that really keeps them from getting the education that they really deserve. And a lot of times we label our kids as lazy, or they're not as smart as we think they are, but a lot of times it's just that trauma that they deal with. And if we get to the root of what is going on with them, then we can help them to get through that part of it, where they can be more successful in school. And that's basically what I'm trying to do.
Right. Now, I know this is a little comical, not the topic, but what I'm about to say. And getting prepared for the show, it would be surprisingly one of my, I guess, sitcoms that I still watch is Good Times.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember it's like the episode that came on when Michael decided not to take the exam because he said it was skewed against the Black community. And some of the points that were even brought up in that segment are still resonant today for what you just shared. He was saying it's not that we are not bright. He recognized that questions don't even apply to the circumstances that the students are dealing with.
Exactly.
No one even still are addressing it like to this day, because we're talking about this sitcom was back in the 70s or something.
The 70s, right?
And now here we are in 2023 needing your nonprofit still because of the disparity of what children are facing, and then how that spills into the educational system.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Well, thank you for recognizing.
I also worked in, which I didn't mention, but I also worked in the board office. I worked as the assistant administrator to the special services department. And it was so sad because the kids would come in and they would do the IEPs, and we put them in special services, but they didn't need to be in special services. It was just that they needed someone to really sit with them and maybe talk to them so they could get all that other stuff out their head so they could learn.
Right.
So yeah, it's really sad that it's still happening today, but it is. I mean, look how long it's been happening. And before Good Times, it was happening before then.
Right.
So,
OMG. And so here's the thing. I wouldn't have never thought about it because that's not what I was exposed to growing up.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what I exposed my children to. So you do fall into a mindset of a lack of awareness that you will believe, these children need this special education, or they need this or that, when that's not being the case. Because when I was younger, what did I have to worry about? Going to school, focusing, and getting good grades. I didn't have to worry about taking care of my siblings, or having an abusive parent in the home, or having lights, no electricity, or no heat. I didn't have those dynamics. So in my adult mind, I'm being honest. This is what we're having these conversations for. I wouldn't have realized how much the trauma at home impacts education until we start talking about it.
Yes.
Wow. That is something that I want everyone to take a moment to think about, because it takes a village. And this is part of us being a village. So when I'm talking about that support again, Kim, are you going to turn down volunteers for your nonprofit?
Oh, absolutely not. I am absolutely not. I'm looking for volunteers. I mean, yeah, you're right. It takes a village because it doesn't stop. I mean, it's a lot for one person. I mean, when I first started out, I was basically just going out of my pocket trying to do whatever I could. I'd go work at the schools and somebody would come in with no coat. And of course, I'm running out, going to buy a coat, or
Mhm.
or kids would come in and you'd be surprised. The kids would come in with clothes and they go to the bathroom. The teacher would sit them in the office and they'd be like, they don't have on underclothes. They don't have on any underwear. And I'm like, what? The teacher would notice if they're bending over or whatever. And the kids would be like, they don't have on it, so it would be a big thing. So they'd send them to the office and here, you're scrambling. You don't think to bring, ask for donations for underwear. So,
Mhm.
it's like you're scrambling, trying to make sure that these kids have stuff. And here I'd go out on my lunch break, try to get somebody some underwear. And, these things that it's preventing them from learning because now they're the center of attention and now they're embarrassed and now they're
Right.
feeling bad and now they can't get that out of their head to move on to the next lesson because now they're sitting there all embarrassed, and even going back to
Exactly.
class, they're embarrassed. So now the rest of the week they're embarrassed because this that's traumatizing.
Right.
So a lot of these things, I mean, people don't really think about it. And, we've had kids to come to school that, they're crying and you're trying to find out what's wrong with them. And their mom went to jail the night before because she stabbed a
Wow.
boyfriend. I mean, just different things that you
Yes.
don't really
You
think
don't think
about.
about it.
And a lot of people look at it and say, well, that only happens on TV shows. And no, it happens. It happens in our communities. Not, and again, I'm not saying that it only happens in our communities, but it happens a lot in our communities, and those are
Mhm.
things that we really have to try to work on, try to find a solution, try to do more than just saying this is a bad kid or this kid can't learn the way that other kids can learn.
Right.
And we have to train our teachers how to be diverse in their teaching,
Mhm.
how to be able to recognize the difference between someone that really cannot get it versus
Mhm.
someone that has a trauma or something that they're
Right.
dealing with that they just need somebody to say, hey, come here, what's going on with you? And a lot of
Exactly.
times it's just that them realizing that somebody cares, because sometimes at home they feel like nobody cares.
Right.
And so when they get to school, not only are you the secretary, the teacher, the lunch mom, the janitor, even, you're a counselor sometimes to these kids. You're a mom, you're aunt, you're uncle, you're all these things. You're a buddy, you're a friend to these kids that they don't have at home. And people don't realize how important it is and what you say to the kid or child at that particular time when they're going through their trauma. It's a big deal because you could
Yeah.
make the rest of their day, the rest of their school year just miserable. So you have to choose your words wisely. And I think a lot of times we have to step back. Like you were saying, you didn't grow up like that. But a lot of times we can step back and at least say, wait a minute, I was a child at one point.
Mhm.
What are some of the things that I did deal with that
Mhm.
maybe these kids are dealing with? And I mean, think about it. Social media alone, you know,
Yeah, that is a new monster
it,
right
it,
there.
it is horrible. You have the bullying and you have the bullying and you have the bullying, on
Right.
social media. And it's horrible that parents don't monitor what their kids are doing.
Mhm.
It's always like, not my child. And I don't care how good my kids were. I never once said, not my child, because we can
Exactly.
only hope not our child. We
Mhm.
teach them, but that's not guaranteed that our child is not going to be the bully, you know?
Right. Right.
So we have to make sure that we're talking to our kids, explaining these things, especially nowadays, because nowadays is not just the bully that you get into, you push somebody, you get into a fight and push them down, they get up and walk away. No, nowadays you have the bully that goes home.
Hmm.
You have the person that's being bullied that
Right.
goes home and get a weapon and come and shoot
Exactly.
up the school. So
Yeah.
you have to make sure that we're having these important conversations with our children. We have to make sure that our kids understand that every child is not the same. There's always going to be somebody different. So we
Exactly.
have to teach kids that, just because somebody looks different, smells different, dresses different, doesn't mean that they're a bad person, because at any given moment that could be us. So we have to make
Yes.
sure that we're sharing that stuff with our kids. So
Yeah. And as you were talking, one thing that I did jot down that I wanted to make sure I had a pen in and didn't forget was unaddressed trauma. So we're talking about children, and if they happen to make it through, that's trauma that may go unaddressed. And then
unaddressed.
you have adults that are just then breaking down and having these
Yes.
traumatic breaks.
Mhm.
And so we have to be very involved and connected to even have potentially maybe stop even that from happening. I mean, we see recently of just about people just murder suicides and just like you said, shooting up schools, and just these snaps within the mental mind is so fragile that we have to recognize, it's a lot, and it's only so much a person can take.
That's
And so
true.
I love the fact that you're at the the children's side, where we're hopefully catching it at a young age and providing the tools and resources, one, for awareness, so
That's right.
that we can try to get that knowledge to recognize
Hmm.
and make them not feel ostracized or like something's wrong, because they cannot stop the atmosphere that they're in. The only thing we can do is try to help make it better, help giving them the resources. And so we do need that awareness. We do need more people involved, and we do need more people spreading the information, especially about good measure. It already exists, so before you go out and try to recreate the wheel, see how you can also contribute to what is already out there and that's
That's
already in
right.
place and happening within your community. I love it. Now,
Thank you.
some of the other things that you do, that are just like in to help, and I couldn't find the original for this one, but I did find this.
Yes. That
So
was
you
our
had some workshops for the youth and for adults. Now, the one that
yes.
I wanted you to talk about first, and then we'll lead into this one, is the no coding workshop.
Okay.
Remind people about what that was about.
We had a no code website design workshop. It was designed for kids that didn't want to go to college, or didn't have the means or the support to go to college. Just to let them know that there was something else that they could do. Just, a lot of people think that because they don't go to college that they can't do anything or they can't be anything. And we wanted them to know that, yes, you can. You can go on to do, there's a lot of trades out there. There are a lot of things that you can do to still have a bright future. Just because you don't go to college does not mean that you will not be successful in life. So we had this no code design website design program. It was a 6 weeks program, and it was on Saturday. It was virtual because of COVID. And we had an instructor, Keno Smith. He actually was virtual. He taught everyone how to basically, from scratch, design a website.
Mm,
He some of the things that we talked about was getting your customer, finding out what your customer wants, designing their website, being able to communicate back and forth with your customer. If this is what you want, this is not what you want. So it taught them not only just about the website, but just how to handle business in general. And then once they actually got everything designed and ready to launch, they were able to launch a website. So they built their own websites, they launched their websites. So at age, we had the youngest person that was on our call was 10 years old, and she had a blog, and she did her own blog. It was so nice. She loves tigers, and she did her own blog. It was so nice. But I actually took the class myself. And so my website, I actually don't have anybody that manages my website. I go in, make any changes that I need to make to my website. And I mean, it's a work in progress, but a lot of the stuff that I'm doing on my website, I learned it from the class. And so we had about maybe 20 people to take the class. And, you know, what better way, you know, you got a 15, 16-year-old that can design a website. And, you know, when I called to have somebody make my website for me, they said $2,500. Well, I just started out. I don't have $2,500. If I do, it's going to go towards getting some shoes, some coats, some underclothes for these kids. So I was like, no, I can't do that. But just think, I mean, if you have somebody that can design a child that can design a website for you, and you know, they're like, okay, well, $200 or $300, and you can give them a 16-year-old, 15-year-old to design you a 9-year-old to design you a website. And
Awesome.
so, yeah, so it was really successful. I learned a lot from it. I had a couple of adults that took it as well, and they actually, you know, did their website as well. So that was one of the things that we did, and that's going to be an ongoing website that we do. So yeah, it was great, and the kids they loved it. So
Awesome. Now what about we discussed this event?
yes, this was a small business entrepreneur small business workshop. It was for, again, like those that want to just, you know, nowadays this generation, they want to just own their own business. They don't want to work for anybody. They want to start off up here as the boss. So, you know, it's like you're not going to change their mindset. So we offered an inspiring entrepreneur small business owner workshop. It was actually presented by the well-known Mr. Warren Galloway. He's the author of 13 books, and he is a professional, an expert at micro lending. And he came in and he did the workshop for us. We did the workshop was a 2-day workshop where he also brought his book. All of it was a free workshop. All of these workshops that we've had thus far have been free. He actually gave out his book to all of the attendees. You came to the workshop, so thank you so much. He did a wonderful job. He went through his steps that he has in his book on starting a business, and they're easy steps. He also went through just the various things that you need to expect as far as when you start your business. You know, a lot of times we think as soon as we start a business, we're going to be millionaires, but he kind of let people know, you know, that's probably not going to happen. But yeah, he actually just broke it down to where it was very easy to understand. The class was really fun. We did a pitch competition at the end, the last day, where the participants had to actually give a pitch for their business. And then Mr. Galloway, as well as one of the city council members, and myself, we kind of voted and we judged who did the best on the pitch. And that person was able to get a $500 scholarship towards their business. Our winner was actually LaShawn Jones, and she was able to open her actual second storefront on the east side. And she, her business, I'm gonna give her a plug. It's called Cousins Bundles, and she does bundles. And so she did an awesome job as far as presenting her business. And again, she was able to open up her storefront with the money. She was able to pay for some of the license that she needed and some of the things that she needed to get done to have her business open. So we're happy that we were able to help her with that. So that's another thing that is going to be ongoing. We're going to try to get, you know, the information out to people and to help them with that, because there's a lot of people that want to be entrepreneurs. We really want to focus a lot more on the youth because we do know that they have a lot of great creative ideas. And
They
sometimes
do.
it's just a matter of somebody giving them that little push. They may not have that push at home, they may have somebody at home that's telling them, that's a stupid dream, or, and it sounds crazy that somebody would say that, but a lot of times they don't have the support that they need.
Right.
And that dream that they have just kind of sits to the side because they don't have anybody pushing them and giving them the confidence and the courage and that they need to go
Right.
forward. So that's what we're trying to do. So yeah, that was another successful event. And now, do we go to the next one? I'm excited that we're getting ready to have. I am so excited about this event. This is our financial literacy workshop, and it is what in 11 days, 10
Yeah.
days. So it's called Your Money, Your Future, and this is actually designed for the entire family. Okay, so don't just come out by yourself, adults. We want the youth, we want the little kids, we want the teenagers, because we feel like if you have a house, if you're in a house and you have kids and you're running this household and your kids aren't aware of what you're spending, and they think that money grows on trees, and they want this and they want that and they want this and they want that and they want it now. This is an excellent opportunity for you to learn how to sit down and have these hard conversations with your kids. As parents, I remember growing up, I'd always say that I'm going to make sure my kids have more than what I had. And, we did that to the best of our ability, but I think this new generation, they've taken it to a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm.
It's like my husband and I never would have gotten to the point where we'd be like, well, we're not going to pay rent and we're going to go and get this iPhone, or we're going to go and get these Jordans. No. But a lot of parents are doing that because they want to make their kids happy. And they are so, they remember not having. And so they're to the point where they want to make sure that their kids have everything that they need. Well, we got to get to the point where we got to understand wants versus needs.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to understand those rainy days. And it's not if a rainy day happens, it's when, because it's going to happen. Exactly. And a lot of times it's like, if, no, you have to prepare because it's going to happen. Your rain may not be as strong as somebody else's was, but it's going to happen. So we got to get to the point where we teach not only adults, but we teach the children, because it has to start at that age, because it's hard to teach somebody whose spending habits are when they're older. You got to start when they're younger. So we're trying to get the kids to open savings accounts. We want to, we're bringing in someone that specializes in preventing foreclosures. We're bringing in somebody who specializes in first-time home buying. We're also bringing in different local banks that are going to be on hand to where we can kind of get these kids set up to where they can open up these savings accounts. People are going to talk about budgeting, how to make a home budget, just different things to where you can effectively run your home. And if you need to learn how to have save money for college, or just to stretch your dollar right now, it is so hard. With eggs being $4, milk. I ran up to CVS yesterday because I couldn't find milk around here, and I didn't want to go all the way to the grocery store, right? So all the other stores were like, we can't sell anything out of the cooler because of the power. Okay. So I go to CVS and I'm like, okay, let me run in CVS. Sure, because I knew they didn't lose power. Do you know that a gallon of milk was $6.99 at CVS?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, $6.99.
So, I'm so glad I gave up dairy.
Girl, $6.99. But this was just at CVS. But because I needed it, and my 6'4", 15-year-old grandson is here with the size 14 shoe, needed some milk for his cereal, I had to get it. But luckily, girl, let me tell you, God is good. I know I'm getting off subject, but I got up to the counter and I had $10 with the CVS books.
Okay.
So I was able to pay for my milk.
That is ridiculous, though.
It's
because
ridiculous.
You have some people
it's ridiculous.
Trying to do their home. It takes us back to the beginning of our conversation where you have these traumas and stresses of why you have kids coming to school hungry.
Yes. And the thing about it is, just think if you're a family of, most single parent homes, they have at least 2 to 4 kids, and that's just one person. I was talking about drinking up all the milk. So what if you had, all of these kids, and a 1 gallon of milk is not going to do it.
Yeah.
So, it's just so expensive now. I mean, I know for myself, when I go to the grocery store, I have anxieties right now because it's just, you're trying to figure out, okay, what do we need?
Mm-hmm.
What can we, and so I can only imagine someone with little children or a house full of kids. I just,
And
it's
I'm
just
gonna be
sad.
honest, the things in the past that you could get that were reasonable, that you could stretch, they're now high as well. It's like everything. And
Everything.
you
Yes.
basically can't find that stretch
Yes.
meal
Yes.
anymore. It's just like OMG.
Yes.
Oh,
So
and
those are some of the things that we're going to try to assist with, and then maybe even have give them resources, some different resources. So because sometimes it's not that even, I'm not an expert on these things, but I try to
mhm,
get the different resources available for them. And if I can't find it that day, oh, I will get back to you, because I want everyone to be successful. I don't want our children to go to bed hungry and then have to go to school and learn, and their stomach is growling, and all that they're thinking about is,
mhm,
I'm hungry. I don't care what you are showing me on this board right now. I'm not
right.
even thinking about it, because I didn't eat all day, and I didn't eat this morning, so I'm hungry. So you
Mhm,
have all of those things, so those are some of the things that we're trying to do with our program. We have it's basically 5 basic steps that we're trying to accomplish. We want to teach them education, which is, if it's whether it's resources, if we can give them tutoring, application and interviewing process, job shadowing, how to fill out FAFSA. That's a beast by itself.
mhm,
We want them to understand politics and the importance of voting,
mhm.
um and just social injustices. There's so many that are going on, so those are things that we want them to learn. The financial literacy piece, life skills training. I am certified in life skills, so I'll be doing a lot of life skills training for them. I want to teach self imaging and self improvement, not because of what somebody else says, but because of what you want to do for yourself.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
those are some of the things. Communication skills. Our kids are this.
Right.
So you try to have a conversation with them sometimes, and it's like,
Laughing emoji. What?
boy, open your mouth, talk. What are you saying? I don't know what you're saying.
Oh
Text me,
my
maybe I'll
goodness.
understand it. I don't know, but it's like
You
you.
said texting. Well, the good news is at least they text in sentences, because before it used to be like, you know, LOL,
GN, good
RG
night. And it's like, what are
this.
you saying? I don't know what this means. Yes, you have to have a dictionary. But yes, so the communication skills, and just, making good decisions, resolving conflicts, you
Yeah.
know, that's a big piece. I mean, it's like every little thing doesn't require you to respond or want to fight. We just
All
want to
right.
fight. We
You
just
don't
want to
take
fight.
offense over everything.
Yes, yes.
I mean, you
So
people
it's
wake up
crazy.
just be offended by the air, and just
Girl, you in my airspace. What? I mean, it's crazy, the little things that just set them off. So we want to teach them that. We want to teach them about how social media. I had my grandson write an essay the other day about social media and the effects that he feels that social media has on him and other people around him. And he did, the one thing that he did say is that, the one thing is they spend too much time on social media.
hmm
And so I
hmm
asked also in there, I said, if there was anything that you would change about social media, what would it be? And then after he said all this, he said he wouldn't change a thing because he thinks it's fine. And I'm like, did you just not say in this essay
Well, it's not
that
social media. It's us. Then that must what it be. It's actually us, and like you said, us monitoring what our kids are doing, and
oh
us,
my goodness.
monitoring ourselves. Because I know there are some people who when the alarm goes off and they cut it off on their phone, the next thing they doing is scrolling.
Scrolling.
They ain't even
Yes.
got up to bed
Yes.
yet, brush the teeth or anything. They in there
Yes. Yes.
scrolling. So
So we
I'm
need to be
telling you,
intentional about putting it across the room so that when we get up, the first thing we do is get on our knees.
exactly.
And then, maybe okay,
Because
then we
last
can
time I
do that.
heard
But
that we
yeah.
ain't supposed to put
So
anything, right?
yes.
Anything.
Yes. So, and we want to teach them about healthy relationships,
I love that.
substance
Mhm.
abuse,
Mhm.
these vapes. They are so into these vapes, and we have to get them to understand. I was looking at the news last night, and they were talking about this one lady was on there, and she lost two kids the same night from fentanyl.
Oh wow.
Yeah, the same night. They were at a party the same night. And I guess they traced the drugs back to, I guess they came from, some of them came from China and some of them came from Mexico. But we have to be, we have to understand and know, we have to talk to our kids about this stuff. We have to
Mhm.
be able to talk to our kids about that. The community involvement. We need our kids to get involved. We're going to be gone. This is going to
Mhm.
be their community, you know.
Right.
And I had my other grandson who lives in Detroit with me one day, and we actually got out of the car, and he just like takes his bag of McDonald's and just drops it. I'm like, if you don't pick up that bag of trash. But in his mind, that's what they're used to doing. And I'm like, I don't care if you see paper all around this city, you will
You
not
don't do
contribute
it.
to it. I
Right.
said, you better pick that up.
I was taught you do not litter, and I even to this day, I'll keep something in my hand until I find a trash can.
Yes.
I
But
will
they
not
are
just.
so easy to just, I mean, how many times I've been out in public and you just see, you're driving behind a car and you see a bag just or cup fling out the
Yeah,
window. And I'm
this is
like, are you
crazy.
serious? But it's just, I think, Sonia, it's just to the point where we have to get back to the basics. And that
Mhm.
is with the life skills, the basics,
Right.
and teach our kids the basics. We're so busy trying to, teach them these other things that we need to teach them the basics. We have to
Yeah.
start from scratch.
Right.
So they can't think, and
From
after I yelled
scratch.
at my grandson, I'm thinking, well, maybe, I mean, he's not with me a lot, but I'm thinking, where did he even see that from? But it's just, not saying that the city's bad, but he's seen that happen so many times that he's like, oh, let me
That's
just
the
throw it.
norm.
Exactly.
Right.
It's the norm. So, and then we want to teach them accountability. So after
Mhm.
they go through all of these programs, we don't just want to send them out in the world and be like, okay, see you later. We'll talk to you. It was nice knowing you. No, we want to stay connected. We want to hold them accountable for the things that they've learned and that we've taught them, that we've done this together. We don't want to just send them out in the world by themselves. We're in this together. We want them to know that we're here, not just when you get out of school. You can always reach back to us. And
Mhm.
so we want to teach them goal setting, and we want to do vision board parties, and we want to be able to hold each other accountable. No
Mhm.
excuses, hold each other
Mhm.
accountable. And so those are some of the things we want them to be committed. The 3 C's of accountability: committed, clarity, and courage. So we want them to first have clarity of what they want to do. We want them to be committed about what they want to do. And then we want them to have the courage to do it. And that's what we're here for.
Love it. Love it. Now, as we start winding down, I'm going to do a couple things. One, I'm going to catch up on some of the chats. Mona, thank you for your comments saying Kim is such a bright light in this world. We
Oh,
appreciate all you do, Superwoman. And
thank you,
that
Mona.
she also said, yes, LaShawn does a wonderful job in the community.
She
And
does.
then Rachel, our guest who we had in our pop in, is saying, very important work. God bless you, Kim. It still takes a village. Yes,
Thank
it
you.
does.
Definitely. Thank you.
Now, behind you, there I see them. Those who've been looking closely to you, you have seen these behind Kim in the background. Share with everybody the impact and importance. Not only are they just beautiful gifts to give or to have for yourself, but each purchase has a meaning to your nonprofit, correct?
Yes. So these are my diva wreaths, and I make these. out of flowers, and they actually usually they will represent a person will tell me a little bit about themselves or their colors, what they like, and we'll make a diva wreath for them, and the proceeds from the diva wreaths go to to support my nonprofit. So not only are you getting a beautiful gift or for yourself or your loved one, but you're also giving a gift. So it's the gift that keeps on giving. You give a gift, you buy a gift, and you give a gift because your money goes towards helping our nonprofit.
I love it. I love it. And I definitely have my diva wreaths
Yes, you
right over
do.
in my office that I get an opportunity to look at every day. And it is a blessing to me. I did put some words around it that says prayer changes things. And so it's just a beautiful, in my favorite colors. And so it was just handmade, created, designed especially for me. And then I have given some away as gifts.
Yes.
Ultimately, the proceeds going to the nonprofit are also amazing. So, as I said, if you're looking to give a gift that keeps on giving and offer some financial support, I encourage you to purchase a diva wreath for yourself or for a loved one. Now, we're in that part of the segment. We're a little bit over, but I have to know a couple things. First
Okay.
and foremost, what encourages you to keep going? Because those of you who don't know your personal story, which I'm not going to get into,
Right.
you have some other things that are really going on outside of this whole nonprofit arena and just in life in general. So, how do you stay encouraged to keep going?
First, you have to have a very good circle. And you notice I didn't say a big circle, I said a good circle.
Mm-hmm.
You are a great sister friend. I have a lot, well, I shouldn't say a lot. I have several more good sister friends that help encourage me, that help push me. Um, and also when you really know what your true purpose is, what God has put you on this earth for,
Mm-hmm.
that pushes you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, I this is something that I do, and my husband always keeps saying, "When am I going to get paid?" But I already feel like I get paid. I mean, I don't take a salary. I don't get any money. I left a job making six figures, and I'm doing this. And I've never felt so rich,
Mm-hmm.
and so fulfilled in all of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And God's math doesn't make sense because going down to just one income, we haven't missed a beat.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of helps me to keep going because I know that God is in it,
Mm-hmm.
and God is pushing me, and He's put these beautiful people around me to help push me as well. And I
Mm-hmm.
know that it's needed. And we're not put on this earth to be blessed. We're put to bless to be our blessings, we get those, but we have to bless others. So if you
Right.
are walking around with your hands like this and you're not wanting to help and bless others, you're not going to have your hands open to receive blessings. So, and
Mm-hmm.
blessings aren't always material things,
Right.
so we
Right.
have to get that out of our head. I'm blessed just because I'm happy, and I'm happy of what I'm doing. I'm happy when I help others. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of other things that I go through with health, but as far as my mental and helping people, that's where I'm most happy.
Exactly. 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 Now, here's a question some people dread to hear, but I love it because we talk about literacy. Even I started to show off about literacy. What book is currently on your nightstand or that you've recently read
Ooh.
or highly recommend reading?
Okay,
Now you
well,
should know this is a
no,
safe.
and you know what? And it's not on my nightstand, but hey,
Okay.
I'm trying to be more intentional about studying God's word. And I
Mhm.
know Steve is like, okay, you a Bible study yet? I've joined so many Bible study groups. I've done Cheryl's. I have a group now that I meet with. I'll go on. I mean, Darius Daniels, he'll do stuff. We'll get on there. It's like,
Mhm.
I've joined so many groups. And he's like, I'll be like, okay, babe, I'm going to Bible study. Like, you at Bible study again? Yes, I am. So I'm trying to be more intentional about God's
Yeah.
word, not just reading the scriptures, but studying them
Right.
and applying them
And
to my
applying.
life.
Right. Yeah.
And it's really helping me. So this is enough right here because it's this thick.
Right? I always say if you read those
So
stories, some of them are
yes.
just sheer entertainment that I'm telling you are better than a soap opera when you get to certain areas. So I am not mad at you. I definitely have that on my nightstand as well. Now, Kim, as we round out into our segment, is there anything that we have not talked about that you want to make sure that you share before we say goodbye? Now, one thing that you have to include, how can people get in contact and connect with you?
That's where I was going. So, yeah, let me just say thank you so much for having me on again. And I love this, and I love what you're doing.
Oh,
Um, People can reach out to me on my Facebook page, or which is just Good Measure Inc. nonprofit, or my webpage, which is www.goodmeasure-nonprofit.org. That's www um, I'm sorry, www.goodmeasure-nonprofit.org. There you can find out all the things that we're doing. You can send me an email on there. You can donate on there. You can join up to volunteer on there. You can sign up for you can sign up for our financial literacy workshop on there. So just go out on the website, please, and please share with anybody that you know. I mean, there's so many people that are needing this information for financial literacy. So please, it's free. We will be also having lunch that's free as well. So please come out from 10 to 2 and get your free financial information.
yes, yes. And I
Yes,
definitely want to make sure that just because we say free does not mean subpar. Okay.
exactly.
So you have to
Exactly.
realize that because it is a nonprofit, and if you were on a couple weeks ago, our guest Michelle shared with you that a lot of nonprofits they do sponsorships.
Sponsorships.
So in
Yes.
order for them
Yes.
to be able to present free stuff, it means that
Exactly.
behind the scene
Exactly.
they got someone to support the event. So if not, then it would be a hefty cost to do
Yes. But
it.
the
Okay,
important
so
thing for them to remember is if we don't get the support, the funding goes away. We
yeah.
have to show them numbers. So if people don't come out, the things that I'm trying to do, I may not get funding for that
Mm-hmm.
because nobody's coming out. So they'll say, well, they don't need that in their community because they're not coming out to get it. So
Right.
please, please, please spread the word. And please get in touch with me if you have any children that you want to participate in our program to go through the 5 week, the 5 steps. Please contact me. We want to have as many kids as possible to join our group. I mean, it's a family, to join our family. That's what it is.
Love it. Love it. So now, everyone, I just want you to be prepared and mark your calendars because we have some amazing conversations coming up as we close out and move through the month of March. Next Wednesday, we'll be having a conversation with my sister, the phenomenal Cheryl Shoemake of Stepmom Sanity. We will be then having a conversation that's going to be full of laughs with comedian Griff. And if you want to hear him before then, just go on over to Get Up with Erica Campbell every morning. Then we're going to have all of the people. I don't know if it's all of them, but a good amount of the people that are going to be part of the Sada Baby fundraiser for All for One and One for All happening at Legacy Hall. And then we're going to close out the month with the phenomenal Mr. Integrity himself, Jason Radford. And if you have not already done so, make sure you go over to our YouTube channel and subscribe today. Now, if you're going to go ahead and subscribe, you might as well complete those other 2 steps and get those free tickets to that upcoming fundraiser happening on March 25th. While you're there, also hit that notification bell so you never miss another episode of when we're going live. And make sure you share this episode that we have tonight. I just want to thank you all for tuning in. I want to thank you again, Kim, for being here and having
Thank you
a
for
phenomenal
having me.
conversation of what you do. As always, I am Sonia Weaver, and I encourage you to spend with purpose because your dollar does matter and deal with Bob. Till next week, bye.